Hello, welcome. Welcome to everybody who's here today in person and online and watching it later. We are glad for your participation in this event, which is titled Bolstering Your Teaching with Library Partnership, sponsored by the University Libraries, the Office of the Provost. Our goal here is to make sure that you as faculty are aware of the incredible resources that our libraries have to offer to specifically enhance what you're already doing in the classroom and to give you ideas about doing new things in the classroom. So we've got a great lineup of library partners to talk with you, to show you things, and we'll have time at the end for questions. So let's get going. Our first presenter is Amy James, online librarian for education and information literacy. She's going to talk to us about library literacies.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm excited to talk to you a little bit about our Library Literacies Initiative. So we have several different literacies that we support. The first is your kind of traditional information literacy, also data literacy. We have a new AI literacy, media, and then making. And so I thought that I would start off by talking a little bit about our tiered approach to literacies and to library instruction. So we offer this tiered approach that starts with library basics. We call it the lamppost kind of tier. And that is mostly seen through our new student experience modules that we offer. They focus on academic integrity, a little bit about searching and kind of how to get started. What type of resources do we have at the libraries? They're available on Canvas as a self-enrolling course. And so students can enroll in that and work through those modules. And then we also in the library kind of basics tier offer micro courses in these different areas of information, data, media, and making. And so that is what I'm going to be talking about next is these micro courses. So they're like 10 minutes and really short, brief introductions that you can assign to help students become familiar with these different literacies. And then we have our light bulb tier or our research basics. This is mostly seen through our partnership with first year writing, but it's kind of like students getting more introduced to the research process. So kind of moving beyond like, what are the resources into how do I use these resources? And then finally, spotlight or research in the disciplines. This is the work of the liaison librarians who are really getting into the classes and helping with more specialized research instruction. An example could be something like, evidence synthesis or systematic reviews. I personally do a lot of instruction in that area. And so that would just be one example. So I thought I would start by showing this video that we have that talks a little bit about our library literacies initiative. These are the micro courses that I mentioned. So this is like a really short introduction to what are these micro courses about? How can you use them in your courses? And what is like the purpose behind them? So I'm going to go ahead and show this video.
Literacy brings to mind reading and writing. At the layer directly below is encoding and decoding. From this view, consuming and producing words is only one of a potentially endless range of literacies.
We often think of literacy as involving the ability to read and write, but it can also mean having a general competency or fluency in any sort of discipline and being able to properly utilize that competency to think critically and make sense of our world.
Libraries have long been in the business of providing open access to information. Again, one first thinks of books, but include newspapers, image galleries, databases, and one begins to see that libraries operate in the realm not of a single literacy, but literacies.
This new approach to literacy is effectively focused on creating agency for student learning. All learning, really. In shifting towards a literacies approach, we begin to explore the concept of meta-literacies, which get at the interconnected nature of our communication infrastructures and communal forms of interaction that are developing at a rapid pace.
Today's libraries dive deeper into the realm of encoding, helping patrons not just interpret information encoded by others, but become encoders, producers, storytellers themselves. Ability to encode and decode in a wide range of domains is essential for a student prepared to lead serve in a complex social world.
So libraries have traditionally been stewards of knowledge and places where students, faculty, community can come to work through the research process in both traditional and non-traditional ways. So it really makes sense that this initiative is something that we support and that we kind of push forward in our university community.
In other spaces around the university, you have hubs of majors and disciplines that kind of work together with their own cohort, and they all kind of think the same. And there's a place for that, certainly, but the library is a place that all of those can come together. And so we think this is a great place to practice the study of different literacies and dive deeper into information, data, media, and making.
Media literacy provides students with the tools to navigate our mediated reality and participate in the ongoing and ever-widening conversation in our communities, local and global. Understanding what media is and how it functions can help us to better communicate with one another, both as receivers of mediated messages and creators of messages too.
The maker literacy is important because it's unique in that it focuses on the physical realm, and students have so much opportunity in their lives at Baylor to write essays and dig into research and work in theory, but they don't have a lot of time and opportunity to put into practice what they learn or to use the design thinking process in the way that they work through their curriculum. And so the maker literacy is kind of a new movement that's coming into higher education. It makes sense to have it at the library because of the fact that the library is a multidisciplinary space.
Data literacy enables individuals to critically evaluate and understand data, ask the right questions, and empowers them to make informed decisions and participate more effectively in discussions about data-driven issues. The future of data literacy at Baylor will likely include providing the campus body with more tools and resources to develop a better understanding of the growing nature and concerns of data.
We have a tiered approach to literacy instruction, and the approach is based off of light themes. So everything is themed towards light. And so the first level of our approach is the lamppost level, which is meant to kind of guide students along the path toward academic research, again, in both those digital and non-digital formats. And then the second tier is our light bulb tier that kind of really reinforces that research process, gets students really involved in like contributing and being part of that. And then our third tier is the spotlight tier, and that really just takes it even a step further. And this initiative with the micro courses fits into that first tier, the lamppost tier.
We've got a lot of big goals in mind. We're starting here with the micro course modules that will introduce students at a 50,000 foot level to the different literacies. But then from there, students can opt into deeper learning in each of those realms.
To learn more about the Baylor Library's Literacies Initiative, head to canvas.baylor.edu. Click on the Commons and type in literacies.
So when you get to Canvas Commons, you will see that you are able to get instructions on how to put those micro courses into your class. So you can assign just one. You can decide that, my students really just need to focus in on data literacy. And so you can just assign the one, or you can assign all of them. So beyond those micro courses, that very basic kind of introduction, we have a lot of other offerings. And so first I'll talk a little bit about the information literacy, kind of more traditional library instruction offerings. We do online or in-person instruction on topics like how do I create a search strategy or use library resources and databases or incorporate special collections. We do, like I said earlier, work on evidence synthesis. So how do we do a systematic review? How do we do that type of work? Citation management. How do we, use Zotero to manage our citations? So we can customize classes. We can customize the content. These are just examples. This is not a comprehensive list in any way, shape, or form. But we do offer already existing modules, videos, content that's available. You can access that from the library's homepage. If you go to the Learn, there's a Library Literacies tab. And so when you get there, it'll have all of this information and how to reach out to get more additional help. Your librarian, so later on, Ellen's going to be talking about our liaisons, but getting in touch with your librarian is going to be key to that piece. We also are offering new AI literacy training. So this is available through a self-enrolled course in Canvas. You can find that from the Library Literacies page, among other places on the library's homepage, but it includes that introductory kind of what is AI literacy, plus additional tutorials on the technology behind things like ChatGPT. How does ChatGPT aim to prevent harmful use and how to use it effectively? And then there's also another module in process right now on ethics and using AI in research related contexts. So that will be coming out soon. And then we can also provide instruction on how to think critically while using AI in the research in world and environment, both online and in person. And then our data literacy kind of beyond the micro course, we have our Data Scholars program, which is available in Canvas. And that is going to cover a variety of different things, including research data management, text data mining, et cetera. So, and then we have our summer fundamentals of data research fellowship as well. And so there's a lot of stuff going on in the area of data literacy beyond just the micro course. And so definitely starting with the Data Scholars program, I think would be a really great entry kind of point. Beyond the micro courses, we also have a new creative making pathways course, which is also available as Canvas Commons self-enrolled course, which is kind of how we present these. So you can share those links with your students. Again, if you go to the library's homepage, go to the Learn tab and just go to Library Literacies, you will see a variety of different options there in terms of accessing this information, links, how-tos, and all of that. So definitely feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about the library literacies initiatives. It's Amy_B_James@Baylor.edu. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to hear next from Shay Towers and Daryl Sturr about special collections and digital collections at Baylor and how those can be and have been incorporated into classes.
For joining us today. I'm going to take us to the library's website to talk a little bit about special collections. To start us off here, there are a number of ways to get to these. Way we're going to look at today is under Discover menu. At the bottom, you'll see Research Libraries, Institutes, and Centers. This is a really great introduction to the variety of special collections. And when we talk about that, we're talking about rare collections, archival collections, unique collections, and those are spread all over campus. And you'll see those listed here with a nice quick summary about the types of materials that you'll find in each of these research libraries and special collections. Ranging from, the things that I've mentioned already, but you'll see other more specialized types of materials listed. You'll hear more about liaison program in a minute, and those liaison librarians, each of you have one that's dedicated to you, and they can fill you in on the stuff that I'm talking about, but also all of the other types of resources that are still special, even though there might not be unique or rare. One of the other types of special collections and resource that's brand new this semester is the launch of the Book Arts Letterpress Lab. So I just want to mention this to you. This is tying into some of the things you heard about last presentation. This is a brand new, different kind of makerspace than the makerspace. This is a old school makerspace where you're supporting literacies in book history, printing, historical printing practices, but also creating a space where students, faculty, and all members of the Baylor can experience those things firsthand, learning by doing. And you'll see that we're, in addition to working with classes, I mentioned that we just opened doors, nearly 600 students worth of classes. Some of you this event are already in that list, classes that are coming to that lab from all disciplines all across campus. And you'll see here, we also are offering workshops that are open to the whole community. Some of you have been to these workshops already. You'll find information there about that, as well as ways to reach out, meet with us and talk about ways for students versus taking. I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Daryl Stewart, continue the discussion of special collections.
Well, hello, my name is Daryl Stewart. I'm the Director of Digitization, Digital Collections, and Digital Preservation Services. My group works out of the Library Collections, Systems, and Digital Services Department. We run the Riley Digitization Center and also operate out of the Black Gospel Archive and Listening Center. So just here are a few of the folks that work in the Riley Digitization Center, just in case in the future you end up working with any of them. Got our project manager, Allison, AV studio manager, Stephen, Travis handles film and other AV materials. Kyle digitizes audio, specifically audio for the Black Gospel Archive. Evangeline is an imaging digitization specialist, as well as handles metadata. And then Hannah is our digital projects and metadata assistant. So we also work closely with the new chair, the Lev H. Pritchard III Endowed Chair with Study of Black Worship and Professor of Music, Dr. Stephen Newby. And we've been working with him, I think, for about a year and a half. So essentially, our group works to digitize materials that are in the libraries and archives across campus. We develop digital collections for worldwide access. And then the digital assets that we generate, we work to preserve them digitally in perpetuity. We use special equipment, a wide variety of archival equipment to digitize the materials that come through the Riley Center. These are purchased from a variety of resources. We've partnered with a bunch of folks across the library. We've been given gifts to purchase some of this very expensive equipment. But this equipment gives us the highest fidelity in digital imaging and digitization in AV as well. So very long list here, but just some of the libraries across campus that we've worked with, as well as many different materials that can be found in our digital collections right now. And so digitalcollections.baylor.edu is our homepage. Which you can get to directly, obviously, but and also can get to from the library homepage. At this point, we have 80 plus collections. We have 154,000 records. That equates to 1.6 million files out there, and 1.2 million files are text files, either derived using OCR from images, and all of those text files are harvestable and they're full text searchable. And right now, we have 2.1 terabytes accessible to the world. And so I'm going to show you just a few screenshots from our digital collection system. This will give you an idea of what the system looks like and just highlight a few of the collections. This is out of our book arts gallery collection. And what you can see is down at the bottom, we've got metadata, and then we at the top have either audio files, or in this case, we have an image of one of the book arts. And this is called the Book Arts Gallery. And so at the top, you can see that. You can also go to full screen and view it in full screen, and then click through subsequent images. This is a search results from our Black Gospel music collection. And right now we're showing you a little bit over 10,000 items available where they can be searched. Audio can be listened to, and we've imaged every piece of the asset. So that's all available. This is out of the Armstrong Browning Library. This is a letter from Robert Browning. You can see on the left, the original scan of the letter, and on the right, full transcript of the letter, and again, full text searchable in these cases. This is the landing page for the Spencer Collection of American Popular Sheet Music, a project that we've been working on for many, many years. But we have actually digitized this entire collection. And at this point, we're just waiting for some metadata to finish up. But in the end, we'll have about 30,000 items online. And this is one of the largest collections of American popular sheet music. And it will be all online. We've also partnered with, now I've lost UCLA, sorry about that, UCLA to share our metadata with one of their aggregators. So this can be findable through Google. It can be findable directly through the digital collection system or also through the UCLA aggregator for what is popular sheet music. This is from the Keston Center, the Keston Digital Archive. This is a poster from 1975. We've also been growing our religious collections. This is a Baptist Standard collection, and we have digitized materials covering more than 120 years. This collection has more than 175,000 images generated during this project, all OCR'd, all full text searchable. The oral history collection is all online. So basically the only way you can find materials from the Institute or oral history is through the digital collections website. And in this shot here, this is the audio file that you can listen to. And on the right, you'll see there's a transcript link that links out to the transcript. So you can also follow along in the transcript while you listen to the audio. And this is a shot from the Baylor Lariat. We digitized about 10,000 issues for this collection, all online. So all the physical materials that were printed have been digitized, placed online, and again, all full text searchable. You can also see on the right side just all the other collections that are under BU archives. So there are already a wide variety of resources for you here at digitalcollections.baylor.edu. However, if in your research you discover additional materials in our campus archives, or you can partner with outside institutions that would benefit your research, as well as expand the digital collections, reach out to us for discussion. For example, right now we're working with Dr. Adam Bond to borrow archival materials from the Abyssinian Church in New York. That is to preserve their history and make those archives available to the world through our digital collections. So please visit us online at digitalcollections.baylor.edu or visit us in person at the BGA and Listening Center. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to have Ellen Filgo come up and talk to us about who's the director of liaison programs, about library liaisons. I have to brag first that at our new faculty orientation this year, there were several faculty members who were not brand new, but had been here for about a year, and they stood up and gave testimonials about their library liaisons and got everybody else in the room excited to meet their library liaisons. So if you haven't yet met your library liaisons, you are missing out on a treat, and Ellen Filgo is going to fill you in on the role of library liaisons.
Yeah, so I'm the director of the liaison program, Ellen Filgo, and I'm here to introduce to you your library liaison. The most important thing to remember is that your whatever major department, program, school, college belong to, you have a liaison librarian that is assigned to that program. So to introduce to them, we have Christina Chan Park, who is one of our STEM librarians. As you can see, all of her departments, mostly over in the Baylor Science Building, but mostly the STEM departments in these College of Arts and Sciences. Millicent Weber, who you saw in the literacies video, is our data science librarian. She is the liaison to statistics and computer science. Heidi Yager, to round out the STEM disciplines, we have Heidi Yager and Ken Carabo. Heidi is our new health sciences librarian, and she is the liaison to public health, CSD, HHPR, and then medical humanities in the College of Arts and Sciences. Ken rounds out Robbins College with physical and occupational therapy and human sciences and design, as well as the engineering departments in the College of Engineering and Computer Science. You met Shay Towers a little bit earlier. He is also among being the letterpress guide. I don't know what he is. He is also the liaison to art and art history and the Department of Theater. And Beth Farwell is our liaison to museum studies. Bethany Stewart, everything in the School of Music. She also works a lot closely with the Black Gospel Archive as well. Our lovely humanities librarians. We have Ezra Cho, who is our theology and philosophy librarian to religion, philosophy, classics, and the seminary. And Laura Semrau, who supports English, history, and modern languages and cultures. I myself am also a liaison to everything over in Castelaw, communication, journalism, PR, media, film, and digital media, as well as to the Honors College. And Sine Wood, she kind of bats clean up on some of our social sciences departments, so political science, international studies, sociology, as well as the School of Social Work. And lastly, we've got a couple of our professional school liaisons. Amy James, who you met earlier, is also our liaison to the School of Education, all the departments over there, which includes the online EDD program. And Carol Schutz, who is our liaison to the School of Business, which includes all of those departments. So those are our liaisons. What can we do? What can we help you with? So there are a couple of things we can do. First of all, we can be a point of contact for you for all questions related to the library. You can come and find us. No question is too small. No question is too big. No question is too dumb. There's no such thing as a dumb question. Ask us your questions. We also can help you locate and access library resources for your own research. That's also important, not just about teaching, but your own resource we can help you find. And then also, as you've heard throughout this presentation today, we can collaborate with you to provide library and information literacy instruction for your students. So this was that spotlight tier that Amy talked about earlier, that the liaisons can help partner with you to provide that kind of library and research instruction literacy and information literacy for the students in your major. So what does it look like to be information literate as a history major or as a biology major or whatever the case may be? We can also, there's a nice little dollar sign there. We can also order materials for the library in your research or your teaching area. That's also very important that we do that. And as well as provide lots of information about copyright, licensing, open access, publishing, scholarly metrics, data management, et cetera, et cetera. There's lots of stuff. Anything that kind of comes out on the sort of scholarly communication field, we try to keep abreast with. So that's what we can help you with. If you have questions about certain things, there are some people to talk to. So if you have questions about Zotero or citation management, please come find me. Distinctive library collections. Beth Farwell, who is our liaison to museum studies, is also at the head of our Arts and Special Collections Research Center. And she can point you to some of the great distinctive or special collections, which you've heard a little bit about today as well. You've heard a little bit about our Book Arts and Letterpress Lab, Shay Towers. Data management, statistical software. Millicent Weber is our point person for that. And then someone who you have not met yet, who is not actually a liaison, but is a part of our larger group in research and engagement, is Josh Ben. So if you have questions about digital scholarship, text data mining, data visualization, or geospatial analysis, he's the person to come to. Now, I've said all that. You've heard all this stuff today about lots of different things. If you don't know where to go, just find your liaison. We can point you in the right direction. If we're not the right person to answer the question, we can find the person who can help you. So again, we are that sort of point person for any kind of questions you have about the library. You can make appointments with us. It's very easy to do so. This is the main library webpage. There's a little button right down there that says find your librarian, and that will point you to, there's a link under every single person where you can make an appointment very easily to ask us your question. So that's what I'd like to share with you today. Thank you.
Time for one more testimonial. So before I was the vice provost for faculty affairs, I taught a course, several courses, but I taught a course in theater history that required research projects. So I clicked on the button. I found my librarian, my liaison, who was Shay Towers. I sent him the assignment that my students had to work on. I said, I think they need help figuring out how to find sources for this project. He looked at it, conferred with me about what might be helpful, then came to my class, gave a little lesson on a short lesson, I mean to say, didn't take the whole class, on finding sources that was tailor-made to the project he knew they had. And in doing so, a couple of things happened. One, they then knew that when they needed help on that project, that Shay Towers already knew what their project was and what they were supposed to do, and they could easily go to him, and they had his face memorably in front of them. Also, while I thought, well, I'm a person who does this research, of course, I already know everything that they could want to find. I learned a lot about what's available to them and some of the ease of getting materials for that particular project that I didn't know. So I learned a lot, the students learned a lot, and they realized the partner they had in Shea, and I realized the partner I had in the libraries as well. So you cannot do enough of this partnering with the libraries. It makes your class better, it makes your life easier, and makes your students thrive. So partner with the libraries. Lots of different ways to do it have been discussed here. Thanks so much for joining us, and I'll see you at the library.